You know what? I think that actually might have worked. Very weird that I have to do a custom stream ingest every time that I want to set this up now, whereas before, that wasn't something that I had to do. That's a little bit upsetting. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm very confused. Thanks, Streamlabs OBS. I think I might have to change the software that I use in order to stream, but we'll see. Hello, welcome everyone, and we are back for the 6th day in a row. It is now official. I have never streamed this many days in a row before, and we are going to try and get to orbit today in RP-1, in RSS RO RP-1. If we don't get to orbit, we definitely want to get at least 3,000 kilometers downrange. I showed up and it started working. Guess I've stopped flipping the wrong switch. Hello, Blue. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Craterink42. Welcome to everyone that has already been in the stream chat. We have Jimmy Maguchi here again. Have I tried turning it off and on again? A few times, yes. And unfortunately, it didn't really do much, but yes, no, custom stream ingest is the way forwards apparently, which is annoying because Streamlabs is supposed to make that all easy for you, but no, I have to go in and do it custom. Anyway, in the last live stream that we did, we started building a couple of rockets. We had Kiwi 1 and we had Kiwi 2. Now, Kiwi 2 did not look like this. Kiwi 2 looked very different. But I spent maybe like 5 minutes after the stream yesterday. And I know, I said I didn't want to do anything off stream, but I was just looking at Kiwi 2 and I was like, no, that's horrific. So I spent about 5 minutes, not very long after the stream yesterday, going into Kiwi 2, playing around with it, trying to make it a little bit better. And we've got something a little bit different, and I might give it a go. Someone did suggest using the British engine, so I have gone for the British engine. And I think at the very, 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 very beginning of this live stream, we are probably going to launch this and just see if this does work, because I believe it should. And if this works, then absolutely brilliant. And if this does work, then what I think we want to do is probably do a little bit of greebling on this, because I like the look of this. Maybe paint it a little bit different color scheme-wise, but I like the look of it. I think it is pretty good. What? You played without us. Kiwi 3 looks great. This basically is the Kiwi 3. Hell yeah, it's the Gamma I suggested. Yeah, someone did say the Gamma 201. I was assuming that was you. And yeah, it works. It's actually pretty damn good. So I think this weighs about 70 tons less than the Kiwi 1. It can take about 1.6 tons to low Earth orbit, and it's going to cost a lot less. So tooling cost is a lot less, and unlock cost is about 60,000 less. So all in, this is moderately better. Just moderately. Oh, big Soviet tin can. Basically, that is exactly what this is. Right, so what we're going to do is I am going to save this. I think I've got all of this set up correctly. I do want to hot stage this, so I guess what we'll do is we'll do that there, that there. I'm assuming that is that into stage. Yes. Fairing decoupler is off because we don't want that. And yeah, I think we'll give this a go. We are going to require a bit of technology, unfortunately, to unlock this, but that's fine. We will simulate this. And let me just double check. What is the payload fraction? How much does this weigh to get about 9,500? Almost 2 tons. Right, we can get almost 2 tons to low Earth orbit with this, theoretically, which would be very, very, very nice. Right, that's going then, that goes then, that goes probably about there. That goes there, then that fires, then yeah, that looks good. I like the look of that. Let's give it a save and let's simulate this and see how the Soviet tin can gets to orbit. Okay. Right. Nope, we don't want to change any part of these. That's cool. Also, there are a lot less engines on this. So, the less engines we have, the less likely we are to have a failure. Daddy's soup. How heavy it is. How heavy it is? How heavy is it? It's about 200 tons. So a lot less than what we were flying yesterday by quite a way. Right. So we want to enable hot staging, definitely. How long is this going to take to spool up? This takes 1.5 seconds. So I reckon if we hot stage 1.2, yep, there we go. I think 1.2 is fine. We'll engage autopilot 200 by 200 kilometers by 200 kilometers, 800 meters per second left on that. That looks like we are probably going to get to orbit. So let's give it a go and hope that everything works. And let's get a cool shot of this flying off, because I've not done one of these yet. I've not actually done a nice shot of a vehicle launching. So let's do this. If we set it to position, set the move way up. Ooh, have I joined just in time? Hello, Sparrowland. I mean, just in time maybe for the first launch of this live stream, even though it's not a real launch because it's a simulation. So we're not actually launching anything proper yet, but we will be getting around to doing that. My voice sounds like it's going again. I am getting better, so I don't know why my voice is kind of wrecked. But yeah, what we can do is if we set the maximum relative velocity on this to something insanely, ridiculously, stupidly high, then take off this, then what we do is we fire up and we launch. Slow mode was always on, yes. Slow mode is set to 2 seconds, so it's not exactly a slow mode. It's not like 15 seconds, but I've always streamed with slow mode on. Purely because back in the day when I used to live stream a lot previously, I would get people come and start spamming my chat. Whoa, that's a big zoom. And slow mode really helped with that. But we are using 2 RD-107s for this. We are using an RD-108 in the middle. And this hopefully should get us a decent amount up to low Earth orbit. I mean, the realistic way is to not sim at all until the 1980s, when simulations were actually invented. Are you decoupling your payload somewhere? Nope, I don't think I am. I do not believe... Oh my god. R3.5. Hello, Beastie. Are you going to watch the Starship launch later today? Probably not. It's a bit past my bedtime. Hey, Ganasa, I was here yesterday, if you can recall. I tried downloading RP-1 Express install with all your mods, but unfortunately it almost made my laptop burn and explode. Little suboptimal. Yeah, RP-1 is intense. Talking of suboptimal, though, this launch, definitely suboptimal. I think we need to change the center of aerodynamics. That shouldn't really matter. Is it going to make me fly this manually? I just stream on YouTube. I do have a Twitch account, but I tend not to use it. What is the gimbal on these? Gimbal on these should be pretty decent, right? I wonder if it's because I've got my stages set up wrong. So last stage, do we want last stage to be 2? Because that's that engine firing up, or maybe last stage should be 1. Early shut-off stage. I don't know what early shut-off means, like... I don't like this new mech jeb. I don't understand it. Will this be made into a YouTube series too? No, it will not. That will fix it. Wait, change the booster pitch to like 0.01. The booster pitch was quite low, I believe. Yeah, we could go to like 0.03. I think any lower than that would probably not really do us well, though. Let's engage autopilot again, and I'll set that to current. Let's give it a go. Yeah, I don't really understand how any of this works. What I need to do over the course of this weekend, I need to go away and have a look and see if I can figure out how to actually use the new mech jet, because right now I don't know how it works. Do not change the pitch rate. Do not change the pitch rate. You reckon 0.5 is alright? To be fair, I usually go for 100 meters per second and 0.5. Early shutoff is used to tell MechJeb to shut off the engine after circularization. Ah, okay. Change the force roll by 90 degrees so it has more pitch authority from the verniers. Ah, force roll, force roll, force roll, force roll. I know, there. Turn. 90. Oh yeah, so that when we go this way... Oh, I guess it's the verniers are the only thing that give us pitch authority. And they are not that powerful. But yeah, that is looking a little bit better. Obviously, this being super unaerodynamic, it might be worth putting maybe a few little bits on the bottom there, a few fins. But we can come up with that. That can be the sort of thing that we look at into when we start greebling this. And I am going to put things all over the place. And I think, yeah, some fins at the bottom. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. The verniers are only powerful in one axis on the 107s. I did not know that. It's these, so that, yeah, I suppose, yeah, they've got, if you look, they've got loads of space to go up and down, but they have got no space to go left and right. If I look at that from that angle, you can see, yeah, there's loads of space in there. I did not know that, but that is good to know. And yeah, rolling to 90 degrees does look like it is going to help with getting this to orbit. Wow. Okay. Right. Still not enough. We just did a flip for some reason. We're just getting to orbit with style, you know? Style. Is it really? No? Yeah? No, we're able to control this now. Why did we just flip? Yeah, I'm sorry for saying this like a trillion times now. Huh? Huh? Could you name your missions to Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune Asterion? Like Asterion 1, 2, 2, etc. It means wife of stars. It's a Greek name. I think it'd be cool. It's not a bad idea. The Greebler. Where are you launching from? We are launching from the Rocket Lab launch facility in New Zealand. Right, this is the first thing I see here today. The spin. Ah, yes. The Korolev flip. I think this will make it to orbit. Maybe. Oh, no, no. Doing that flip has now lost us about 500 meters per second. I am unsure why we flipped. I am unsure why that happened. That is a tad annoying. Because 500 meters a second is quite a lot. Let's just make sure that all the stages of this burn. And I think what I'll do, once this is sort of semi-successful, we'll go in, we'll design a little bit, do a little bit of design work on this. Hey, the rocket at least doesn't look like an adult toy, unlike one in the previous episode. But that is true. I think many episodes ago, or not many episodes ago, a couple of episodes ago, Rocket Gymnastics Course Fund.
Rocket Gymnastics Course Fund.
Thank you very much, Blue. I'm not sure if we need funding for rocket gymnastics. The rocket knows how to do gymnastics. It performed that flip flawlessly. You could even say the rocket was flipping me off. You could say that. Right. We are some ways off of orbit there, but that's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to vehicle assembly and we're going to work on this, because I think there are a few things that we can definitely try to try and make this a little bit better. And one of them will be to sort out our center of lift, because right now our center of lift, you know, is all the way up there. That's pretty gross. That is pretty disgusting. We're going to grab some... I don't want procedural... Yeah, procedural wing earlies. We'll grab 4 of these and place them about there. Then what we'll do is we'll grab this, bring this out to here, bring that to there, bring that to there, like this. Then we grab this, like that. And what I want to do, actually, is get that to about... Oh, that's very quick. Get that to about there. That to about there. And there's a reason for this, because we can actually recolor this so that it matches that little gap. And I think that will look quite nice. If we go for something like that there, and then keep it straight. No, that's not really straight, is it? Or something like that. Yeah. And then we can even do the same for the top as well. So if I put that there, and then get that going like that, and then that going something like that, maybe a little bit lower. That should hopefully give us maybe not as good control. Maybe one thing that we can do is make it a little bit longer. Almost there, especially as we will be losing fuel quite quickly. Something like that. Then I can close that. I can open this up. What we can do is make the main bit white, because then that matches that. Then we want black paint for... Would it be this bit? No. We'll keep that white. Keep that as white paint. Then maybe black paint for that bit, like so. And then this top can stay shiny silver, like the rest of the rocket. We'll give it a bit of specular, like that, and a bit of detail. And then it should hopefully match everything. Cool. And it sort of matches the bottom of that. Is the stream freezing? Man, you're making me want to dust off my old RSS RO install. The stream might be freezing. Hang on. What is the stream? What's stream health saying? Stream health is saying excellent. Might just be you, Jimmy Maguchi. Looks nice. Looks nice. Thank you. We are going to make, hopefully, this look pretty good. I like the fact that, yeah, we can do that and try and keep it all in sort of sync. I don't know. If we move this up... I missed the banana. Stream fine for me. We move that up. That looks like, yeah, the wings are not clipping into... our rocket at all, so that's fine. I think maybe we get this a little bit bigger. It's gonna be ridiculously big, and still we're not quite able to get our aerodynamics below, but hopefully that should only be for the start of the launch, and I'm quite happy with that. If it's just for the start of the launch, it's not the end of the world. There we go. We'll move that there. I think the next big thing that I kind of want to work on is this, because I don't like the look of this at all. What I want is maybe to have a little bit of sort of like a little bit more interesting shapes down here. I don't know if we can get away with having something... We could go for like structure procedure, but I have a feeling that this is going to add a lot of mass. Oh no, it's quite a lot. 9.393 tons. Yeah, that's pretty big, but I want to make these sort of squares at the moment. Diameter to be sort of really, really thin. 9.326. Why is greebling so, like, costly? Really shouldn't be doing this, but I want the rocket to look more interesting, so doing it we are going to do. Going to get something like that. And then down the other way, we'll get a couple of pipes. And I think maybe I'll make the pipes out of the, you know, tanks that we're actually using for this stage already, because they might be lighter. Why not make them fuel tanks? That might be what we do. Fuel tanks might actually be lighter. I might have a look at that, because it could be a lot better. If I go for conventional structure, let's go for 90 degrees, and we'll make a couple of these polygons as well. Go 4, Diameter, maybe get that to about 3. Do like a much bigger one, 9.34. Yeah, they're not. Oh, it's because we're using this, the really, really, really bad one. Right, this is the best that we'll be able to use. 9. Yeah, I think these are much better in terms of stringer mass, so I think we will use these. Get those off like that. Whack that on, do something like that. Maybe move that in ever so slightly more as well. So there we go, got a nice little thing. I think actually what we kind of want to do is probably make this shape go down a little bit more. That's procedural structure. If we get that to about like there, and we get length of really low. Oh no, we don't want that. We'll go for something like that. It gives us a little bit more shape. A little bit more interesting, and then the payload fairing will connect to the top. Giving me vodka bottle vibes. Does it look like a vodka bottle? I mean, it is Soviet. Saw you and wanted to swing by and drop a like. Get some rest, friend. Hello, Augustus087. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's a name I've not seen for a while. How you doing? Oops, I just nearly deafened myself when KSP started because the stream is much quieter. Am I just quiet in general? I might be quiet in general. Right, yeah, got a couple of square bits on there just to try and break up the monotony of just this one weird thing. And then what I'll do is I'll make these cylinders and we'll make these very small. Not that small though, I want to actually be able to see them. And we'll bring those in like that. Make them a bit smaller again. No, I want to be able to see you, please. Let's pull these out to about there. Then we can get the diameter of those down. We can do something like this. Make them run down the entire length of that into there. And that adds a little bit more, something a little bit more. Maybe we can get a little bit of asymmetry in there as well. Something like that. Couple in. I reckon something about there. Love a bit of asymmetry. Not that it's really that asymmetric, but you know, we've not got one on the other side either. Oh, what people do for aesthetics. Yes. Some of those tanks could hold RCS fuel for future use. They absolutely could. And that is one thing that I do normally do. So the sort of greebling that I do for my rockets and to make them all look pretty is I will put RCS fuel in these. Usually I'll make them isogrid and then we'll have RCS attached to them. But right now we don't need RCS on this stage. That's absolutely something that we do not need. Okay, what else can I do to make this look a bit more interesting? I think if we color in this stage and make it be sort of green, maybe we could make it a little bit metallic as well, like a nice dark green. Put a bit of detail on it, get a bit of shine because I love a bit of shine. There you go, I like the look of that. These can probably stay metally. I like them looking metally. Yeah, go for something like that. Then maybe one last thing that I'll do is, if I can get that just one, then we go for a hollow cylinder. We'll make the length maybe really, really small. Something like that. Outer we'll go for like 1.8 because I'm fairly sure we already have a 1.8. And inner can be like 1.7. Move this into the middle. Am I on absolute? Put it onto absolute, move it into the middle, and get a nice ring around this. Get a couple of rings around like this. Move that down a little bit. Do at least one more. Am I an absolute? And if this becomes too much, we might remove some of these, because if it becomes too much and it makes it way too heavy, then that is bad. What I think I might do actually is, rather than having this long, make it a bit smaller, and we'll just put this up the top like that. There you go. That's at least a little bit more interesting than just a basic cone shape. Part count on this going to be crazy? Nah, it won't. My Ariane 1, the Ariane 1 that I fly for all Kerbal kind, the part count on that, I think it's about 400 for just the base of the rocket. These streams are pretty chill, not going to lie. I did put some lo-fi music on for this one because I don't want to be so over-enthusiastic at the moment, because my voice is still a little bit broken from my cold/chest infection that I am currently recovering from, and I thought lo-fi music would be pretty great to just, you know, chill and talk to. Because if I go for the more sort of electronic-y music that we have had over the past couple of streams, I do tend to talk a little bit more aggressively, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, no, let's go, sort of be really loud. So yeah, this one's definitely going to be a bit more chill. Just tuned today. What happened to the beautiful spoiled mustard colouring from yesterday? So we've gone for something a little bit different, purely because I didn't really like what it looked like yesterday, and I wanted to make something look at least I wanted to make something look, turn the rocket into something that looked at least somewhat decent. Yo, first time catching you on stream. Hello, Leggy4861. Welcome to the stream. Ring. If I liked it, I should have put a ring. Oh no, I just pulled the ring off. God damn it. I put a ring on it, and it looks a little bit more interesting. We can definitely do a lot better greebling than that. And if you want a lot better greebling than that, just have a look at some of the stuff that I did in, for all Kerbal kind. I go insane on those builds, and it takes forever to build something for that. Because there is an awful lot of detailing that goes on for every single rocket in that series. I think the last thing that I'm going to do is just have a couple of, like, fuel lines run down here. I think maybe we get one sort of on each side, and we go for something like this, and we get the diameter of maybe 2, maybe 2.5. Run this all the way down, like so. I reckon get this down a little bit further, make it a bit longer, maybe not that long, that's a bit too long. Get that so that it roughly coincides with the edge there. Move that in. Like so. And we'll colour these different colours for the main rocket. Hopefully it should look at least a little bit more interesting. Ah, no, I've lost it. There it is. Okay, let's put that on top there. Wonderful. Beardy had orb, we have ring. Carnassa, use structural tanks for this. Structural tanks definitely seem like they are a lot more weighty. Although the problem with using these tanks, and I want to make these aluminium fuselage, the problem with using these tanks is it's going to cost a lot more to tool. That is a concern. I want a smooth cone here. I want the top to be 0, and I want the bottom to maybe be about 3. Yeah, that looks perfect. And what we can do is put plain metal on there. We have that running all the way down there. I've actually decided that what I want to do is make this a little bit shorter. So maybe we make this like 11 meters, and we grab that on the end. This is now way too long. Let's turn it into a cone. I go for a cone like that. Grab that. Oh no, I've lost it. There it is. Okay, there we go. Come on. Why is it not attaching? There we go. Do 2.5 to match the top. Bottom is, that can be like 5? 5, yeah. And get the length down a little bit so that it gets to about where the cutoff is there. Cool. And then one last thing, we'll do this to be 5 and 5 so that it is the same size, and it's just like sort of a little bit more of an interesting shape at the very bottom of the rocket. Now I could do rings that hold this together, and I could probably do another one of these that goes slightly next to it. I think we might do that and have it a little bit longer, maybe one the other side. Yeah, I reckon we go for one there. Whack that in. Whack it in. Like so. I think that looks alright. And then this one can be a little bit longer. And get that up. Right. Yeah, that's fine. I need to try and get that so that it is perfect. Like so. Yeah, then we can colour those in. And I think that's probably enough greebling done for now. What's the payload capacity of Kiwi 2? Probably, after adding all of that crap, to be honest, maybe about 1.8 tons. It kind of looks a bit like the Starship Raceway. That's probably where I got that inspiration from. I've done a lot of raceways like this where it finishes off like that. Just tuning in. Are you going for the Soviet engines, American rocket design? Kind of. We're not going. It's kind of like a mishmash. We are definitely going for Soviet engines. Oh, I started using your Kerbal Gets Real Redux planes last night. How did they go? Were they good? Were they good? Were they good? Hopefully they were good. Hopefully they were all right. I know they did me well on the actual series. Why are they called raceways? Because you take a tiny little car, a tiny little Hot Wheels, and in order to make sure that it is structurally stable, you run it along here like a race. That is why they are called raceways. I don't know. If I'm going to be honest, I do not know. I don't know why that sort of went funny there. That should go about there. And also, we want to... Oh no, these are so heavy. They're all steel fuselage. That was silly of me. We want AL stringer tanks. Aluminium stringer. Why are they all the really heavy stuff? AL stringer. This should hopefully get our mass down quite a bit. I'm sure I set these to be aluminium stringer tanks. But apparently not. I need to check all of them now. Oh, that's going to be so monotonous. And we also need to colour these in. But I think now that I've got the sort of basic shape, the basic arrangement and outline of what is known in the industry as a gully rhythm. Music Club by Chase and Status. I think I'm quite happy with that. Oh, I did those as aluminium stringers. Okay, that's fair. I had to fix the flags, but it was a good time. Oh yeah, because you won't have my flags folder. How much mass is the interstage fairing? I do not know. The interstage fairing is 1/2 ton for all 4 of them. It's quite upsetting that. That's a lot of tonnage. 1/2 ton for 4 of those interstage fairings. What are these? AL stringer, AL stringer. What's our tooling cost going to look like? It's gone up 23,000 just by doing greebling. That's great. That's fantastic. That's exactly what we want to see. I reckon this one here is probably going to be a big culprit. Yeah, if I remove that to 2.9, we lose 20,000 of our tooling cost. Oh my goodness gracious. Or we might do that. Yeah, this one is a big culprit and it's not doing anything. Oh, but it is adding fuel. Oh, I didn't know that we were adding fuel to this. 2 minutes and 39 seconds of burn. Yeah, that's way too much. Okay, yeah, we're just going to get rid of this bit. 2 minutes and 28. Yeah, that's a lot better. And yeah, well, our tooling cost goes down by, you know, like 15,000. That is much better. Actually, if we put those back on, it's close enough. How much extra does that add? Like 3,000. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. And yeah, we're under 200 tons again still. So Kiwi 2, I think that is the design, the pretty much the design all designed. Design has been designed. So what we want to do now is see if this flies, and hopefully it doesn't do a flip. And what I might also do is, because that says that we're going to get about 9,287 meters per second, let's reduce the amount of turpentine that we're taking to low Earth orbit. Not a sentence that I thought I would really be saying. So if we maybe get that so that we get another couple hundred meters per second, so that is 1.24. That puts us on 1.6 tons in total, which is way more than we need for the actual contract. And we'll do that, we'll save that, and let's give it a simulate. Hopefully, I did take off the utilization rather than, yeah. If I emptied the tank, then it might have been filled on the launch pad, which would have been mildly upsetting. Also, let's just check and make sure that our avionics is fine. Avionics are sufficient. Wonderful. Cool. Great. Save. I do like saving a lot. And we're going to simulate and see if this gets it to orbit. Lady Turpentine is disappointed me. Is the black stripe meant to be slightly wider than the rest? The black stripe. I love your engine mounts plus very stocky fin combo. Thank you. The black stripe. This one. Not really. I think that's the avionics. It is the avionics. That's why that looks like that. That is why that looks like that. Right, so we've got, hopefully, the roll set to 90 degrees, because as I found out, as I was told, that we need to set it to 90, yep, in order for the verniers, for this engine to work. And hopefully, with this, we'll go for 0.5, 100 meters per second. We'll engage autopilot. Staging doesn't look good, because we want the payload fairing to go maybe about there. Maybe not even there. We might want that to go... actually, yeah, no. I think that is right. I think that is right. Cool. Let's launch this in 3, 2, and 1. Remind me to send you screenshots of my rockets later when my brain isn't trying to explode. That is fair. Why is your brain trying to explode? But I will remind you. Set your pitch rate to 0.6. You reckon a faster pitch rate? It's got not a huge thrust to weight ratio. I do a thrust interstage so the greebling is always visible. That's also not a bad idea, and it might also save us on mass. Let's get this.
Let's get this flippin' rocket to space.
I was gonna wait for the for Brian. Thanks, Brian. Brian. Oh, we're gonna need paper towels. Cheers, Brian. Thank you for the donation, Philip Summer. What should I say? Clippy. The tooling cost for service module tanks is huge, and the build time is going to be higher too. Lost in FRP. What was that related to? Actually, now I'm playing RP-1 right now. I need 1,000 sounding payload for 6k downrange mission. High pressure aluminium weighs 700 kilograms. Service tank for that payload weighs 650. Yeah, oh yeah. Tooling for service tanks is actually ridiculous. It is so friggin' expensive to tool service modules. Like, by far the most expensive thing in all of RP-1 to tool. I'm also not set on this colour being just shiny silver. We might change the colour around. It's a possibility. I'm not sold. I am not sold. I am not bought. I am not bartered. I am not traded. Right, don't you dare flip over again, because what it did last time was it did that thing where the rocket tries to do the last little bit of the ascent. Actually, yeah, so maybe 0.6 would have been good. Yeah. For some reason, yeah, PVG will, at a certain point, it will just go whoop, 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 and really aggressively pitch over. And I think that is what caused the flip to happen last time, due to the fact that we did not have good enough control. This time our control is a lot better because we have got these fins stabilizing the rocket as well. I quite like the look of this. I think it looks pretty decent. We are going to have 171 meters per second left, roughly. Or we should. Do red and silver. It looks really good. Red and silver. You want sort of like maybe red in these bits. I do like the look of this whole section. I think that, yeah, no, I'm quite fond of it, but maybe we will do a little bit. Red and white, red and black. Are you recording this? I am not recording this, no. This is not going to be turned into any sort of series. I think if I was recording this, my entire PC would die. I'm going to try setting up maybe tomorrow if I get a bit of time, because I'm going to be finishing a little bit early tomorrow due to the fact that I am off all next week. I might see if I can set up my stream so that it actually starts streaming at more than 1080p, because I am playing on 4K, and I did look back at one of the streams today and I did notice that some of these sort of windows are very difficult to read. Shame the fairings don't recolor in the same way as tanks. You can make them recolor in the same way as tanks. You can get them to pretty much exactly the same color. What you have to do is you have to set the detail of them to minimum. If you set the detail to like the lowest possible point, then it will be the same color as tanks. I don't know when I found that out, it was a while ago, but yeah, that's how you do that. But yeah, the entire stream will be on YouTube. Every single one of these is being kept up as the VODs. The VODs are being kept up. You can either find them on the live page, or alternatively, I have created a playlist called RP-1 2026. Maybe I should put that on the homepage of my channel, in which I have set it in order so that you can see them from start to finish. Make it kiwi coloured, like the fruit. Like the fruit, a kiwi support sort of like brown on the outside and green on the inside. I think this will work. Do we really need to watch this all the way to its conclusion? I don't think we do. I think that the fact that I have over 100 meters per second of delta V left makes me think that this will work. And maybe one thing, yeah, we might have a look at replacing this with a hollow interstage adapter, because that might be a little bit cooler, and it also might save us a bit of money. We'll see. We'll have a play around with that when we get back into the vehicle assembly building. I've got to say, this looks very Soviet for New Zealand. That's because it is very Soviet for New Zealand. Ooh, we had a bit of a fun time coming away from that there. I can't remember who recommended it or who suggested it, but in the very first stream, someone did suggest that we tried an alternate history where the Soviet Union took over New Zealand. So we are going to be attempting to do sort of mostly Soviet engines rather than like dogpiling down the Hydrolox tech tree. I'm going to sort of stick to the stage combustion tech tree and see how that goes, because I've never really done it. I get big eyes when I see the amount of specific impulse that those RL10s give you. I'm like, oh, I definitely want those. And the fact that they've got loads of ignitions, it is a bit, yeah, it does make me think, oh, yeah, no, the American way is great. But I have heard that Soviet early game is meant to be absolutely fantastic. 7,900 meters per second. In another stream, you wanted to play the Weezer lick. Here it is, maybe. A flat, E, A flat, B flat, C, B flat, A flat, E, E flat. That is flat, isn't it? I forget which way flat and sharp is. I'm so bad at music theory. What mod is this? Which one? The mod that gives all of the displays, the mod that gives you procedural tanks, the mod that changes the nav ball, the mod that gives me, you know, there's a lot of mods. That makes me think of that video. There's like a reel that I've seen every now and then where it's like people playing one of the Resident Evil games or something. I don't know what game it is, and it's like one guy goes, "Did you put a mod in this?" And then Master Chief comes in and it plays the Halo music every time he's on screen, and it's really, really, really funny. Isn't stage combustion kind of broken if you do it in tandem with Hydrolox, like using an RD-270 and J2 for the moon without the Mountain Dew, of course? It could very well be. However, that does mean that you're sort of going along 2 engine tech routes at once, which there is definitely better things that you could maybe be spending your funding on. Wonderful. We are able to get to orbit, and we are able to decouple that. A whole 1.286 tons this, but then that also weighs a fair amount there. That's another set of avionics and another decoupler, so I think that was just to see. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's go back to the vehicle assembly building and see what we're going to do next. When someone asks me what mod when I post my screenshots in the KSP Discord server, what I do is just show my whole game data folder, 60 gigabytes. That's a big game data folder. I think that might actually be bigger than this install. I think this is about 40 to 50. You can flip over an engine mount and use the shroud variant instead of a fairing. What, at the very top? I like how that looks though. But what I do want to have a look at is maybe using some sort of, I'm sure, hollow interstage. We go diameter. Let's try. So I think it's 2.9, right? Yeah, let's go for 2.8. This should cost us a lot less on tooling. And then we can sort of change it. So we can do BDB, which has got Titan, which I don't really want to do. Don't really want Saturn either. I think we do just go for the standard hollow interstage. Even though the Saturn parts look amazing because they obviously were designed by Katniss. And Katniss does some very, 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 very cool looking stuff. What we do with this is you put it up. That is, yeah, it's going to need to be longer. Truss 1, Truss 2, Truss 3, Truss 4. No, we don't want a huge Aerobee. We want that one. Blah, blah, blah. If we get the vertical scale up. Oh, I think this is just going to look too silly. I go for like that. Is that going to be tall enough? Maybe. Yeah, our engines are now sticking inside. We need to go a bit taller. I think 1.5 is actually the perfect height. There we go. That is what it looks like with an interstage. And we lose an awful lot of delta V. Oh, no, we don't. No, we don't. It's because the staging was incorrect. You should for sure have the payload fairing be brown and the payload itself be green. Well, I mean, we have been flying a Tree Space Agency. I mean, one you get the F1B and the other you get the Raptor Super Heavy. That about the stage combustion and orbital rocketry. Interstages are really heavy. The engine is so tall. It is so tall. I mean, we could do something like this. Ah, that's a problem. We could kind of like hide a little bit of the engine inside, which I don't mind doing. I am not adverse to clipping things through for style points. But not too much. If we go maybe something like that, so that we've still got those sort of like sticking out. Or maybe we hide those completely and we get that to like about there. We still have like, you know, the actual engine sort of out of the way. Yeah, that doesn't bother me too much. I know some people are very adverse to clipping. I am not. I don't care. If I want to clip, I will clip and I will do it for style points. I'll make it so that it looks cool. I'll go for something like that. Then I need to grab that other one. There we go. Let's grab you. Go about there. strap a shark on it. Do we want a blahage on this? Is that what you were saying? A tasty, tasty blahage from IKEA. From IKEA. Maybe. Right. We can probably make this smaller. Maybe about 1.25 now. This weighs... How much does this weigh? Hollow interstage. Does it tell us? Total length. 1.8. I don't think it tells us. That's annoying. Strap 2 sharks for aerodynamic symmetry. Very good idea. Very good idea. Talking about sharks. I watched the finale of The Boys today. Just thinking of the Deep, because he's obviously the mad shark lad. I'm not going to say anything about it, because it literally came out yesterday. That's not at all how you pronounce blahage. Blahage. I enjoyed the finale, right? And I wanted to watch it. I'm not going to spoil anything. I wanted to watch it because I saw online a lot of people did not enjoy the finale. And I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, no. Nuke Guy and Rail Cowgirl, I agree with you. I liked it. I thought it was wrapped up pretty well. I enjoyed it. I don't get where all the hate from online was coming from. The biggest... yeah, I can't talk about it too much because, you know, it's really recent. I don't want to spoil anything. But I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching that. And yeah, I didn't get all the hate that seems to be emanating online. Right, if we make this a little bit smaller, I reckon we can go for about that size. That does look sort of better. We probably also want to do something with this payload as well. Payload adapter. Put some flags on there at some point. But I think we'll do that in a bit. Absolute. Yeah, we'll just get a flag on there for now. What flag could we go for? Go on. We've turned our rocket into Italy. It's Italian brain rot. It is official. It's Tong Sahur. I don't actually know any of those. Like, I'm far too old to be watching Italian brain rot. Yeah, right, same. I thought it finished all the storylines well. I can maybe see why people complained about the mid-season pacing and stuff, but the finale was really good. The finale was good. Yeah, I think the penultimate episode was definitely pretty weak. Thinking about it. Nickname it Antares. It feels like it could be called Antares. It could be. That could be its official nickname. Right. I'm just thinking, what do we do now? What's the next step? This... Does this give us more Delta V? Does this do better? It shows off this stage, which is pretty nice. So I do like it. I do like it. We are just under 200 tons. I think the next thing that I actually want to see is what happens if rather than 2 of these, we had 4. Because that is definitely going to be an upgrade that I want to do. That puts us up to 288 tons. Right. 288 tons. So that means we do want to make sure that we have a launch complex that is capable of lifting 288 tons. So I think we are going to want to make a new launch complex. Maximum tonnage. If we go 288, are we going to be able to do minimum tonnage of what we are? Minimum tonnage is 216. No, we're not. We can't have a launch complex that does 2 boosters and 4 boosters. That seems really dumb. Because you would expect the same launch complex to build the 2 booster and the 4 booster variant. That seems stupid. I don't like that. That does not seem like that should be a thing. I mean, we could do 3 boosters, but if we did 3 boosters, the problem with that is that it would then clip into the wings. We can't have a 3 booster variant without changing the wings on the bottom. We'll just go for a 2 booster variant right now. Maybe we'll figure that out later on. But yeah, 2 booster variant is more than enough. Maybe we build another launch complex that is slightly bigger, but this will get us where we need to go for the foreseeable future. This is absolutely fine. It's slightly annoying though. Right. I think we save this, and then I think, yeah, we build it. So this is going to be 200 ton LC. And it will take us 211 days to build. It's going to cost us 64,000, and we can get 570 engineers on there. Once we have built that, this will get built way before we unlock all of the tech to build this, by the way. But once we've built that, it'll then cost us about 6,000 to launch this thing. It's going to cost us 98,000 to tool, 201,000 to unlock everything. And it's going to take a friggin' long time to build it. So long. We can't really see at the moment because we've not actually built it, but yeah, it's going to take a while. But I think we're going to bite the bullet. I think we're going to go for it. This is going to be our orbital launch vehicle. We might change that Italian flag at some point, but that's what it's going to be for now. Yeah. Build. It's done. That is our first orbital rocket designed. I would just stick the hollow stage under a structural piece, like the Titan interstage. That's not a bad idea. That's really not a bad idea. I like that. And I've definitely done that sort of design before. So what you do is you get like a hollow, sort of like, you know, a boat tail kind of hollow thing here that attaches to like some really small version of that, so that you only really see, you know, like this, like that, and then the rest will just be a hollow bit. I like that idea. That might be something that we do, but I think we spent more than enough time in here for now looking at that. I think the next thing that we need to do is actually launch our next mission, and I am going to move the science around. I think I'm not going to save that. Let's go new and let's actually leave. How big is this rocket, as in what size? So it is 2.9 meters core in diameter. It is just under 200 tons, so it's a pretty sizable rocket. It's a pretty sizable thing. It's all about that girth. Minimum tonnage should be reworked, in my opinion. They should maybe make the LC launch gain less efficiency if you don't launch near its max tonnage, but it makes no sense currently. Yeah, that is annoying. That has kind of like annoyed me slightly, because in my head, the launch complex that works on the 2 booster and the 4 booster variant should be the same. Annoying. What's UA-1205? UA-1205 is the solid rockets that were on the side of Titan 2, Titan 3, if I recall correctly. They are in here. 1206. 1205 is somewhere around here. There we go. Saturn 1B derivatives. Okay, oh, that's 1204. 1205. Yeah, Titan 3. Titan 3. Big boys they are. They are very big boosters. Right, we've got no science. What I want to do is, because in order to complete the next contract, we actually want 56 to 57 orbital rocketry before we want this electronics research, because as soon as I get 56 to 57 orbital rocketry, I can build that rocket. The electronics research and the satellite era science, we do need that in order to complete. We don't have it because we've got downrange milestone contract. In order to complete this, we do need that scientific experiment, but we can launch this first if we get the rockets first, the engines first. So we are going to rush the engines first, and then we'll do the science after this one is done. And hopefully what we can do is we can build up 2, and by the time it takes between completing this and building up the one for this, we should hopefully have the technology that we do need in order to basically complete those both. And I feel like that is the way that we really want to do this. Is it worth upgrading any of our buildings yet? 500 per day, that's yeah, I don't think we want to upgrade that quite yet. That's gonna 500 also per day. That's gonna be dirt cheap, especially right as we are now building this. That's going to finish in 211 days. That's going to cost us quite a bit. I reckon we can maybe push that past a year, because we're not going to get the tech anytime soon. And I think what we want to do is, yeah, we need to wait for that tech to come through. So currently the tech is going to come in 1956. In April 1956. Oh, this is going to be like my worst orbit time for a long time. We are currently working towards, I think, getting 250 researchers. So the tech will come quicker. But I think, what are we building right now? 3,000 kilometer downrange attempt number 2. Do we have all of our engineers in that? No, we don't. We've got the slightly smaller rocket complex. But we are reconditioning that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to warp that to complete. Then we're going to take off every single engineer here. And then we're going to put those into the slightly bigger one, getting us almost to the max. Oh, that's gone up. I swear that was 88. That's gone up. That's interesting. And hopefully we'll get that 3,000 kilometer downrange attempt done pretty quickly. Then once that is done, we'll start doing these and getting ourselves a bit more reputation, a bit more confidence, because we're definitely going to want that. And hopefully if we do some of these as well, we'll be able to stick a camera on top of these and get a bit more science that way, because we definitely do want to be getting some more science. But I think what we want to do is probably just start warping to complete. Oh my god, the flash. If you want to print 31-ton rockets a day, why not? You still need to manually fly them. Huh? Huh? DU has 719 credits in the bank, thinking about spending 40k on a building upgrade. I mean, we do want to. We do want to upgrade our buildings. And because it takes time to upgrade them, you know, the money doesn't come out instantly. At least in newer RP-1. I think the money went out instantly in old RP-1, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like I should play with BDB before I go into RP-1, just so I can get a bit better at KSP in general, because my skills are probably very dusty by now. Maybe not. So, when I first got into RP-1, I'd barely gone to Juna in the stock game. That was a long time ago. Right, 41 days? No, 21 days. Is that the next thing that we want to do? Do we want to hire more researchers? When are we getting that all-important orbital rocketry tech? Still in 1956. I want that sooner than that. I want that. Let's maybe start pushing for some more researchers. I want it in 1955. I really, really want that in 1955. Let's maybe auto hire reserve funds. Let's get that to about, let's get our funds up a bit to 5,000, but then I want our final count to be like, not 3,300. Jeez, we would absolutely bankrupt ourselves if we went for 3,000. The RP-1 Discord is actually amazing for getting help. It is indeed. They're very good. Right, so we're going to gain 8,510. That's weird, because we shouldn't, because we should start, yeah, sitting at about, yeah, this. 263 researchers, cool. Every researcher that we get, oh no, I didn't mean to click on there. Every researcher that we get is obviously going to push that research time down, but it's also going to mean that our funding, our costs for the space agency are going to go up. There's a lot of an awful lot of complex thinking with an RP-1 save. I do like Legacy. I feel like Legacy is a lot better for just, you know, just getting into it and playing. There's a lot more thinking involved with one of these, which is why I probably should have not done this for a stream series, because I did want to sort of just switch off, but it's fine. Maybe a Legacy run through at some point in the future. You know what? That could be a stream chat goal. We do have a stream chat goal going on at the moment, and it's basically the reward for the goal would be to... Oh, my brain is so dead from working. I've been working all week, and then I've been live streaming every night after work. I need to rest and recharge. I'm so glad that it's the weekend. Well, not quite now, but soon. Anyway, yeah, the stream goal is currently chat will either get to pick the next program, or maybe we open up a new channel on my Discord. There is a link to my Discord in the description, where you submit some cursed designs for me to fly over the course of this live stream series, because I thought that would be quite fun if we hit that goal. And then maybe another goal, a goal to achieve, to aim for, would definitely be doing a Legacy RP-1 series. It's been so long since I've started one of those, I'm not even sure where I would begin. Right, this is actually, I'm fairly sure, 3,000 kilometer downrange attempt number 3. So, let's see how this goes. Why is the runway level 3 but everything else is level 1? Because the runway is always level 3 in RSS RO. It's just how the game works. Everything is actually sort of different levels, I think. But yeah, because I think in RSS RO it was kind of decided that you're launching a space agency, you're not going to be flying from a dirt sort of, you know, dirt track, flying planes. That's just a bit dumb, which I think is why, yeah, it's that level. Right, we need to remember to spool this up, to spin it up, because that is something that I didn't do once and we failed because of it. Did I pick up the contract? No, I did not. Of course I didn't. Revert flight to vehicle assembly building. Oh my god. This is not going very well already. Hey, at least we didn't launch it. To be fair, RP-1 has a kind of reverse difficulty curve where it gets easier with better rockets and guidance. That is true. It's kind of weird in some ways, because if you go into an RP-1 sandbox, you kind of are sort of overwhelmed with the pure amount of like engines that you have on display. Like, you've got loads of engines, whereas, yeah, they are better engines, and it does become easier to get to orbit, and they are a lot more efficient. Right, let's go into mission control and actually pick up that contract. There we go. Accept contract. Cool. Let's launch this. This time, actually got the contract. We're going to succeed. What is the red A center of? The red a center of? Hey, the poo is back. The poo? The green poo? We are going to be sticking on our safety glasses because this is a very pivotal launch, and I need to make sure that I don't get shrapnel in my eyes. Okay. Surface. Surface. Execute. Let's also sort out our staging, because that would be terrible. And I need my Delta V stats, because I need to see when to start rolling. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Lovely. Let's start aggressively pitching, because we love a bit of an aggressive pitch. Everyone loves aggressive pitch. Okay. Oh, I just want this contract to be done. I just want this contract to be done. And then we've got to worry about the 5,000 kilometer downrange contract, which I've got no idea the sort of Delta V that you need for that. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a load of fun. Was that a bit too aggressive? No, I think this is fine. I think this is fine. I think this is fine. We've got 38 seconds left on this. 34. I think now what we do is we point surface velocity plus, and that should hopefully keep us in a good position. Good angle where we're going to get 3,000 kilometers downrange. Let's actually get this up and see how far it is. We're going to wait until we get to 3 seconds, and then we are going to spin this up. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Success. About 6,700 meters per second for 5,000 kilometers, but it also needs 50 sounding payload. Ouch. You're pitching too high. Oh, we are going further up as well. Yeah. That is quite high, isn't it? What is our surface speed? Surface horizontal speed. It's 2,300 at the moment. We've got another 1,500. Horizontal speed is over 3,000 meters per second. I swear, if we get another 2,999 kilometers, that would be very upsetting. You still haven't orbited. Why no actual launch? Because it takes a really, really long time to orbit in KSP RP-1. We're there. We're getting there. We're not far off now. We've started building our launch complex that is going to build our first orbital rocket. We're just going to do some contracts to get a few extra bits of science on the way. We'll see if this completes it. Someone said, why no hat? My hat is here. My new era hat. There you go. This is how hats are worn. But this was an actual launch, because this wasn't a simulation. This was an actual launch, right? We are gonna be... I think we might just make it. I think we might be alright. Yeah, we've made it. Yeah, easy. Easy, easy, easy. Let's see how far we actually do get. Where is flight recorder? There. Flight recorder... Show me how far downrange we go. Oh no, it's cut out because we've run out of electric charge. That's annoying, but there we go. Downrange milestone, 3,000 kilometers done, and we went way further than 3,000 kilometers downrange. It was yeah. So we need to now get to about there. So if he gets a bit further. You've just gone higher than the ISS. We did go pretty high then. ISS is what, about 450 kilometers? Now do 5,000. Everyone loves a good explosion. Wonderful, that's another contract done. Let's go back to the Space Center after watching that explode. So there's a couple of different designs that we need to do now. We need to... Let's take the glasses off because I can't see shit. We need to do camera returns, because that's going to be important for getting more science. So we're going to launch cameras higher and higher and higher. And we also need to do the 5,000 kilometer downrange. And that's going to be fun. I think we also want to do this, because that gets us an insane amount of rep. In fact, if we got 156 rep, would that max us out? Yes. Yes, it would. Which we might want to do. It'd like max us out and then some. Sounding payload, yeah. Right. I think we do this one next then. And then we attempt downrange milestone, 5,000 kilometers, with our upgraded material science that we'll get in a day. Oh, in fact, no, what we'll do is we'll actually wait for that day. We'll wait for that day before starting building anything new. Purely because then I can just go straight in and build it, which would be wonderful. Let's have a look. I think I'm going to go play War Thunder. Bye. Thank you for coming along. GG, well done. It took me way too long to do that. In the original Kerbal Gets Real, I'm fairly sure I completed the 3,000 kilometer downrange contract in 1951. So, yes. If not 1951, not long after 1951. It's a little bit embarrassing. Right, so what we can do is we can now make these aluminium stringer tanks, which is going to get us even more. Even better. Betterer. Fill that up. That gives it... 6,517 is already looking pretty damn close. But obviously we do not have 6,749. We don't have that sounding payload. That will take probably more than 1,000. I'm assuming, yeah, that'll probably take more than 1,100 meters per second of delta V off of us. I don't know why I'm designing the 5,000 kilometer downrange now. That wasn't my intention. So if we go 4 and 4, we go length of like nothing. We want to remove all tanks, tank UI. I think it was only 50 units of sounding payload that we need. So we put in 50. Add. And we put that on. Yeah, we're not quite there. Not quite there. Close, though. Very close. February 1952, Canassa. Was that when it was? Wow. Yeah, we've really exceeded our goals. Also, to be fair, in the original Kerbal Gets Real, you weren't as arbitrarily forced into keeping things closer to historically accurate. That is true. Yes, because modern programs and launch complexes does try and make you hit sort of more realistic timelines than the original the original legacy RP-1 does. In the newer versions of RP-0, it's quite more difficult to caveman the first SAT. Also, they changed all the SAT contracts after first SAT in a way that requires you to wait a long time on science. That is true. That is very true, because you need to get all of the cosmic ray science in order to complete those contracts, at least the early satellite contracts. So yeah, you are kind of like gated behind waiting for those. Okay, what is our burn time is 1 minute and 25, which is 1 minute 24 and 1 minute and 10, so we can actually burn this for longer. That's interesting. How much does this weigh? 18.5. I wonder. So this engine, what is this? This is the RD-101. How much is the RD-102? It's an extra 5,000 credits. What does that actually give us? Gives us more thrust. A little bit better specific impulse surface. But not hugely better. And then that is just really expensive. Yeah, that's really expensive. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. The RD-102 might be able to do this. 1 minute 19. Yeah, because this can do 1 minute 23. Needs to be a bit longer, unfortunately. Something like that. Not really a themed run, but we are sort of sticking to more Soviet stuff this playthrough. No more Mars boots by 1961. No. Poor TD. How will he cope? How will he cope? 5D60. I don't want to spend that much money though. That's a lot of money. That's a huge amount of money. That probably would do it for us though, because yeah, we get a lot better surface, a lot better thrust. Yeah, that's absolutely gonna do it, isn't it? I don't want to spend that money when we can almost do it with this. Like, if it's 6,700, we can almost do it with this. I don't know if any of like these. I mean that. What is that? 234 compared to. It's worse. It's actually worse than what we're using right now. Does the RD200 have like upgrades? Nope, it is just the worst engine of all time, apparently. I think you might be right though. I think we might have to go for the SD thingy majiggy, which means that we need basic rocketry. But we need basic rocketry for the RD102 anyway, don't we? I think we unlock, yeah, we unlock all of these at basic rocketry, which is insane. We change to that, it is going to mean that this is going to cost a lot more. If we remove all, fill that, remove all, fill that, put that on there so that we can see exactly how much we're getting. This can burn for 2 minutes and 10 seconds, which is way more than this. And already we've already got, you know, like over the amount that we require. That should get us the distance. Can we change it so that we're under 19 tons? So that we can... That should also work. 6,787 might. And 18.5 is the amount that we have on there. If we go for one more, that is now below 18.5. We're still over 6,700. That might do it. In the current version, the Soviet stuff is very good. U-200 is way better than the Aerobee, and the RD-100 is good enough with all of its upgrades to get you to orbit. I mean, this is now 6,765 meters per second. I honestly reckon if we maybe... well, this is going to be... Oh, no, I don't want to change the mission flag. This is going to be 5,000 kilometer downrange attempt. We save that. I reckon if we made this burn for its full amount of time, which is 2 minutes and 10 seconds, maybe if we get like this a little bit thicker, get that down to something like this, and then this can the top of it can be, oh god, not like that, something like this. This is not going to be a design that we use at all. This looks horrible as well. A very chunky green poo. Yeah, we get up to 7,640 meters per second. I reckon all you need is maybe an upper stage here, and then this is sort of, you know, like a Space Bee, which is... I've not done that in a while. And you'd be able to get yourself an orbital rocket, probably that weighs... that's quite heavy already, but not a huge amount. Quite a decent orbital rocket as well. The RD-100 as first stage, yeah. I reckon we need an extra stage in here if we wanted this to be orbital. Okay, right. Well, what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna open up. We're not gonna save that. We're gonna come into NFTR 3. And we're going to build up a load of these. We want this to be the new tank that we've got. And we want this to be the new engine that we've got. If we change that to that, then we fill this up. That gives us 3,500 meters per second of Delta V. But only 58 seconds of burn time. Did I pick up that contract? No, I didn't. I think it required 500 units of sounding payload. 500 units of sounding payload is quite a lot. But I think what we would do is we would put it on the top. Like this. Go for 1.5. Go for that. We need high pressure. And we want to fill this with sounding payload. Cool. We can get 500 units in there. Tick that. That now gives us 3,300 meters per second of delta V, but what we can do is we can make this into the better, the longer, yeah, we'll burn for longer because we do have that ability. By the way, what is your opinion on tips? You want to hear them here or not? From me, I'm always happy to hear tips. I love having something to watch while building an entertainment system. Hi, hello. You're building an entertainment system. Does that mean that you've got internet now? I know Blue was saying that you didn't have internet, and it was very sad. Oh my, that's twice as heavy as my first 5mm downrange attempt. To be fair, it was 4 stages and no control, all spin and fin stabilized from the pad. Nice. No. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. Right, we are going to make this. I think what I want to do is steal from that 5,000 kilometer downrange or 3,000 kilometer downrange. I want to merge that, and I want to steal the green, the lovely green thing that we've got going on here. And we'll whack that on there like that, and there we go. Oh, that's a little bit horrible, that, isn't it? Oh, a little bit disgusting. What we will do is we will up this to the next thing, the next good thing, and I think we're already overburning that. Yeah, we are. Oops. Oopsie daisy dando. Right, we'll whack that in there like so. 1 minute 24 seconds. Perfect, and that gives us like 4,000 meters per second at delta V. And this weighs 18 tons, I think. Can we, like, maybe steal this? And try and keep it the same? So that we don't have to tool something else? What if I make the top? It's still tooled. It's still tooled. I like that. I like it. That is no longer tooled. So we are going to have this, like, silly looking thing. Purely because I want to get away without having to tool anything. But that's absolutely fine. And then hopefully this should be able to either get us a lot of science or those contracts all done. And because we have pretty much reused every part that we have got, except for, oh yeah, the new ones of these. But that should only possibly cost about 5,000 in total. Because we are tooling the same time. No, we're not. One of them is slightly different. I don't think that should be too much. 13,000. How much unlock credit do we have? 125. To be honest, I think this will be the last one of these that we do. Because this matches the 5,000 kilometer downrange rocket anyway. So, we'll tool all of this. Because I know that this will be fine. This is only going to take like 69 days. That's perfect. And I'm going to save this as camera Corona 1. Purely because I can't remember who it was, but someone on like one of the first 2 streams was basically talking about Corona satellites, and you know, why not? Am I watching the Starship launch tonight? No, I don't think I will be, because if you can't tell by my voice already, I am pretty damn tired as is, and that is quite a long way off in the future, and I do have work tomorrow. I say way off in the future. It is, like, you know, a lot later on. I wouldn't mind watching it, but yeah, unfortunately, I am just going to be far too tired. This is quite possibly, without a doubt, one of the ugliest looking rockets I think I've ever made. Hi, hello, pear-shaped pear. Welcome. Nice. Check the staging on the launch stabilizer. That is a very good point. That is a very good point. We want to change that staging. Absolutely. The poo is everywhere. The poo is everywhere. I mean, if you have a green poo that's this big, if you poo out an 18.123 ton giant green poo, I'd recommend you visit your doctor or your health professional, because that is not normal. Okay, Corona 1. We haven't built this yet, have we? Yeah, let's launch it. Corona 1 to integration list. Lovely. And we still got 4,000. I was the one who was talking about the Corona satellites. It was you. I had a feeling it was you. Right, the next thing that we're going to reach is 300 researchers, which is definitely not going to cripple me in any way, shape, or form. Hopefully 325. What is our research looking like now? We get 56 to 57 orbital rocketry at the end of 1955. Oh, we get basic rocketry in not very long. I think... Yeah, let's duplicate this. Let's just launch a load of these Coronas. Launch a load of Coronas. And before we launch one, we'll just make sure to pick up the contract. That's going to take, what, like, how many days? I think if we auto-hire researchers as well now, what we'll do is we'll set our reserve funds to be maybe... How much are we earning a day? We're getting 10,000 a month. Maybe we go to, like, 10,000 in total. And final count, let's put that up to 350. And there we go. We should hopefully start making a little bit more money. And we should start getting some researchers. 327, 285 a day. Yeah, we are running out of things that we can spend. But our research is coming down. I want this sooner rather than later, and I want more tech. And in order to get more tech, we're going to launch these cameras. Let's roll this out and build the next one at the same time. What? You hangar extender or the building? Bye. I need to get dinner now. Enjoy your dinner. I need to have my own dinner as well. Don't take any risks. Too big. Interesting. What is Beardy on about? Beardy is talking about something in the For All Kerbal Kind chat, and I've got no idea what it is. And he's talking about risk-taking. I wonder if he's talking to the new person in the series, who will be revealed very soon. Very, very, very soon. Let's have a look. Ah, yeah, he is talking to the new person in the series. Not saying anything. Not going to give away who it is. We should end that poll now, because we did actually make it. We did make it to... we did do the 3,000 kilometer downrange. Now, we're going to pick up this one, because we definitely have 500 units of... Yeah, we can easily do this. We can easily do this, and we'll get so much confidence and so much reputation. That literally will put us above the maximum amount of reputation that we can get. So that is the most money that we could possibly earn. Perfect. As long as it doesn't fail. I really hope it doesn't fail. So we'll do this. And then once I think we get the next engines, which should be coming... Oh no, we've already got them. We've already got them. Okay, so we can do 5,000 kilometers downrange as well. We might even be able to do that before we finish the stream today, which would be lovely. Right, let's recover flight and proceed. It's not Martin. Is Martin still streaming the Skyblock? I kind of really want to play Minecraft. It's been so long since I've played Minecraft. Like, I've not really played any games, really, apart from Kerbal Space Program recently. But even then, a lot of the time, when I play KSP, I don't consider it playing. Because it is all for the channel. I can't remember the last time I just played KSP for fun. Probably, like, about 5-6 years ago. Right, anyway, let us fire this up. Make sure that our research is running. Interesting, we have no connection. I know why that is. Because this doesn't have a communication. This doesn't have an antenna. Because I took it off to save mass on the other vehicle. Oh, that's annoying. Right, well, what we can do is... I should have paid attention to that. We'll revert to the vehicle assembly building. We'll roll that back, and we'll edit it. So I should set up a Minecraft server once we have internet, right? Absolutely. I want to do an All the Mods 10 run with other people and definitely not distract you. Yeah. I also want to get my girlfriend into modded Minecraft, but in order to do that, I need to buy her a laptop first. That's what the goal can be. It can be my girlfriend's laptop fund. There we go. Help my girlfriend get a laptop so she can play modded Minecraft with me. I've been playing Terra Firma Greg lately. It's fun if you like suffering in the same way as RP-1. I've not done any super duper duper insane Minecraft mod packs. I think the worst that I have done was Enigmatica Expert 6. You don't need an antenna. I do want to control this, and I do want to... Actually, yeah. I probably didn't. Thanks, Blue.
Girlfriend laptop fund.
It'll be a while, I swear, before I am able to get her a laptop. So, technically, I wonder, can we cancel that rollback? I'm gonna try. What I wanted to do, because I think you can control it with Smart ASS. I think Smart ASS should work. Pretty sure Smart ASS should work. And I should be able, whilst it's still clamped, to turn on the science. Let's try once more. I'm gonna go launch, and we're gonna have a look. If this works, then this is great. It means I don't have to roll back, add the antenna on, do all of that kind of stuff. But we will see. Also, is it PewDiePie? No, it's not PewDiePie. PewDiePie, and has PewDiePie ever played Kerbal Space Program? He might have done when he... Oh, it's on already. Oh, it is. Okay, cool. That's great. The one thing that we can't do is we can't decouple this. Yeah, we're gonna roll this back. We're gonna roll this back, and we're gonna add an antenna. I am playing with. You have to have connection to do anything. I do have that setting enabled in settings, and because of that, we are gonna roll it back. It's a bit annoying. We'll launch one of these, and then I think rather than building Corona 1 again. What we want to do, let's rename that as Corona 2. Oh, I'm getting flashbacks to 2020. Unless you turn require signal for control on. Yes, I do have that setting. Did you already build the launch complex for this rocket? I have. The launch complex has been built. Masochist. Yes. It's a setting that we have in For All Kerbal Kind. And because of that, I just play with it on every other install that I've got. Right, so we want to open up this, go for 5,000 kilometer downrange attempt, and we want to build this up. This might make it, it might not. It's going to be bloody close. This will be able to get... Yeah, it'll get close. We could upgrade the launch complex if this doesn't quite work, if it doesn't quite get the distance, and we could put more fuel in this and we could make this a little bit bigger. But I was informed that 6,700 meters per second of delta V is enough, so we will see if this does work. And this, I think, should be tooled already. Oh, no, we got to tool these up. That's not going to be an awful lot. Yeah, it's basically this bit needs to be tooled. That's fine. Let's tool that. Purchase all of those toolings, only 1,300. Then the worst part is actually going to be buying that upgraded engine. So let's, and we definitely got the 50 units of sounding payload. Definitely got the 50 units of sounding payload. Let's launch that. Was it 50 or was it 75? Well, anyway, I'm going to start building that. And that will be something that we hopefully see before the end of this episode. We'll have done 3,000 kilometers downrange and 5,000 kilometers downrange in the same episode. It'd be so funny if 6,700 isn't enough. And it was purely said because, haha, 6.7, and Carnasa has to redesign the whole rocket. I think, yeah, well, we can get about 7,000 meters per second out of that quite easily. And 9,400 is getting orbital. So, you know, 6,700 does seem like a decent amount to me. I feel like that is not too far off what it should be. But what we are going to do is we are going to build that first. But we're going to build this first, and we do need to sort of edit Corona 2 as well. Let's, like, roll that back. It's going to cost us a lot of money. How many staff do we have? Right, Corona 1, we want to edit this and whack on an antenna. Did I say episode? I say episode a lot. It's kind of like stream episodes. These are basically 2-hour-long episodes that aren't edited. Basically. Because I don't think these are going to go anywhere. I'm not recording anything, and unless I sort of like just, you know, download the file from YouTube, and it would probably look terrible, and it'd have my face in it. It wouldn't look, yeah, it wouldn't be great. Right, so there is a parachute on here, right? Yeah, there is a parachute. I want to put on a communications antenna, and we'll keep it at that. That should be absolutely fine for what we need. It's going to take us an extra 2 days to build that build and install that antenna on there. It'll be fine. Is the stress? Right, integration. Let's put Corona 1 at the very top. There we go. 2 days, and we'll roll that back out, and then we'll do 5,000 kilometers downrange. Let's try and get both of these done. That's going to take, what, 8 days? Yeah, cool. Corona 1. Did I pick up? Oh, no, I didn't. If we cancel this, it's now been more time. So, this should have gone up. Not by much, though. 1,373 days. Wow, that's a long time that we've been doing that. Okay, let's launch. Actually, no. Let's wait until we're at the day, and then we will launch. This series is episodic in nature. It kind of is. I would say that. 1 a day we're getting at the moment. I think we're also, as I hit the stream goal not yesterday, but the day before, we're 2 out of 5 on the stream goal today. But as we hit the stream goal 2 days ago, it is going to carry on till next week. And I am not going to stream. The only time I'm not going to stream this week is going to be Saturday. And there's a very good reason for that. It's because I'm going to be in London. I'm going to be going to Comic-Con with my girlfriend. The first time I've ever gone. I've never really been into that sort of thing before, but she very much has been for her whole life. She does all cosplay and stuff like that, so I'm going to be going in. She's going to dress up. And because of that, I'll be in London. I won't be around. I won't be able to stream. But I'll try and keep the streams at the same time next week, probably around this time. Purely because if I do it any earlier, I will overheat, because it's supposed to be incredibly warm in the UK next month. Like, not next month, in the next week. It's supposed to be insanely hot, like up to 30 degrees, which is pretty crazy for the UK, right? And I have like no aircon in my house, so I don't really want to be streaming during the day. Let's give this a launch. Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. I'm not very good at doing that noise. I think this is the only time in my life I've been here every day to watch a 2-hour-ish live stream. Thank you very much for spending 2 hours a day with me. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate all the people that have come along and have, yeah, spent their good time with me, keeping me entertained in the chat whilst we are doing this RP-1 career. We should have gone a lot more aggressive than that. Oh well, I'm sure this is fine. I'm sure it's fine. These sounding rockets, these early sounding rockets, like the V2 equivalents, are quick. They go. They have got a huge thrust to weight ratio. Like, we've got 2,300 meters per second left in this. Oh, we're losing it a bit. It's struggling to maintain the course that we are trying to tell it to go. Doesn't like this. What is our altitude? What is our orbital height? 130, 140, yep, 150. Brilliant. Let's go 240 kilometers downrange, please. I reckon we should be able to make it. That is... Yeah, I'm hoping that's fine. What is our surface horizontal speed? Not that great. And we do need to take it all that way. How much science do we get out of this camera? Not even that much. I thought we would get way more than that. That's barely anything. What? It's rubbish. Oh, but we get... Oh, we get over multiple biomes. That's not great, though. We definitely will hit the 240 kilometers, right? Right? Yeah? And we are going to get all the science from this. Yep, cool. Oh, we don't even need to recover it, but we do need to recover it because we want to get the science from the rocket. Right, let's do that. Let's get it back down. Flippy. Camera science got ultra nerfed. I didn't know that. Oh, we might have to actually start building planes. We might have to start building planes just to get some of that science. Like supersonic science, although... Oh, that's going to be interesting. Yeah. My sources of science are definitely running out, and... I don't know what to do about that. Yeah, build some planes. Load Kerbal gets real Redux planes. Exactly. That is exactly what we're going to be doing. Weird little mushroom. It is indeed. Is that going to explode? Is that going to explode? Is that going to explode? Blow up! Blow up! Blow up! Oh. Pull up. It didn't explode. I wanted to see an explosion, damn it. Stick a thermometer and barometer on this thing. I think... Oh, yeah, we might get some extra science from... flying high? But not a huge amount. Does the first camera science even have biomes or just flying high in space? It does have biomes. So if I look at what we have gathered from this, which we can't because we have run out of connection and we've run out of electric charge, but yeah, it will have it does have biomes for both space low and flying high. How did you configure the soul biomes to work with RP-1 science? I have not. Do they not? Because if they do, then yeah, I've not done anything special. I have heard that soul breaks biomes, so that's going to be fun. And I have heard that it also breaks some contracts. But we, in the case where it does break a contract or it does something like that, we do have the wonderful cheat menu. Yeah, you got a stock part. It is a default model for the camera, and I hate the way it looks compared to everything else. There is so much good looking stuff in RP-1, but yeah, there's just this terrible camera for the V2. I tend to try and hide it as much as I can. I'm fairly sure in Kerbal Gets Real Redux, it's probably the best way that I ever hid it, but I can't remember how I actually did it. X-Planes is just nice. You get pretty easy 2 aircraft that can give you around 50 points in 6 flights. Yeah. So the science that you get from X-Planes is insane. It's definitely worthwhile doing. Not just for the more money that you get for doing that program as well, but also just the amount of science that you get, because you get supersonic science, you get hypersonic science, you get high, yeah, it's like Mach 2, and I think above Mach 2. High altitude science. There's like 4 or 5 different experiments that you can do, and you know, you can get crew reports as well from flying high. There's so much that you can get from X-Planes. Oh, look at that beautiful splashdown. We have tipped the water with our tip. That's definitely not a phallic looking payload at all. But we're going to recover that, and we're going to get literally no science, and it's going to make me cry. Planes give you a decent amount of science, but it takes so long in flight hours. Yeah. Yes, it does. So we gained, like, sweet FA. basically. We've now got 3.5. Oh, I'm not even sure if it's going to be worth launching another one of those. See, like the next thing, we can't even buy the next supersonic tech node. We can get satellite era science, which, to be fair, this will start giving us a lot more science. This is good. This will give us a lot more. Once we get the magnetometer or the mass spectrometer up, that will give us maybe about 10. And I guess we can use that 10 to maybe pick up lunar range communications. Because I think if we get lunar range communications, we might be able to go to the moon without getting 58 orbital rocketry. The other alternative is to get entry, descent, and landing. Then what we do is we keep the advanced biological capsule up in space for a really long time, like the day that I think it requires. Yeah, there we go. It takes a day to perform that experiment. And then we bring it back down after a day. And if we get entry, descent, and landing, we can do that. I think that might be the one that we go for. I think that, yeah, that's probably the better one. Or the moon. I don't know. Moon or EDL. One of those two. I don't like saying EDL. Makes me sound like a reform supporter. Right. Okay. Next thing is going to be reconditioning the launch pad and then 5,000 kilometer downrange attempt. But first, we are going to get 350 researchers in no time. And how much money are we gaining a day? 283. Oh, you know what? We'll keep that. If we move that, can we like completely sack off our researchers? Yeah, we can pretty much. Nice. What we want to do is probably auto hire up to 400 now. Yeah. I think that's a decent amount. We'll just keep pumping in researchers because, yeah, we're going to get satellite era science in 1956. 56 to 57 orbital rocketry. I reckon 400 might be enough. I'm not sure if I want any more than 400, but we will see. We're getting new avionics prototypes very shortly, which will really help with, you know, our orbital rockets. I don't understand how people are so good at this game. I mean, I've been playing this game since 2013, I think. It's been a long while. It's been over 12 years. That's quite a long time of playing one game. And yeah, I watched Scott Manley. And because I watched Scott Manley, it instantly made me better at Kerbal Space Program, as everyone knows. This is the way it do be. Okay, we are rolling that out to the launch pad, and I am absolutely going to remember to pick up the contract. So we're going to warp to Sunrise. And then what we're going to do is pick it up. Do we reckon we can do it? That was almost a lisp there. Oh my god, what have I done? What have I done? Start a poll. 5,000 kilometers. Yay or nay? Let's see how this goes. Lots of fucking around and finding out. That has basically been what we do every single day of this live stream series. You're doing what in the research? What did I say? Oh no, what did I say? I never managed to get a ramjet going to get the flying hypersonic with jet engines, and my U2 never climbed the last 5 kilometers in height to get the optional contracts. I have never done the 25 kilometer stratospheric plane. I just, yeah, it's the 22 kilometer one was bad enough. I've never used a ramjet either. I just used big old rocket engine. Only thing with X-Planes is that it's quite possibly one of the most frustrating and time-consuming parts of RP-1 other than program management. X-Planes do take a very long time to do. I think people probably were right when they said that we should not focus on X-Planes for this series, because doing X-Planes on a stream series would just take forever, and it takes a long time anyway. But I think it is good to do, and I think it's probably the optimal speedrunning strat. Not that I'm really a speedrunner of RP-1 at all. Oh god, this is all messed up. Purely for the reasons being that you get more money. You get more money for the same amount of points you can pick it up, and yeah, you get more money at the very start, and then it goes like massively up over the first few years. So I think it's definitely the better way of going about getting like into orbit faster, rather than taking the 2 like rocket launch contracts. But who knows? Right, I've got no idea how we need to angle this. I spent most of the time you've been streaming doing the same repeated X-Plane fights. Rewarding, but incredibly dull. That is fair. I'm probably going to have to go back and watch early KGRR episodes so I can see how to fly your planes. That's fair. Some of them do have quite a few control surfaces and action groups in them. And if you lose focus on landing, oh my god, yes. I remember, I think it was the first time I streamed RP-1. Like PNLC, and like I did like a 10-15 minute long flight, and then I crashed just as I like landed, and it just wasted like the whole 10-15 minutes that I just spent. It was really annoying, and that can happen a lot. Right, let's fire this up. 3, 2, 1, go. And let's pitch over like instantly, like yesterday. This one, I have been told, needs to be even more aggressive than the 3,000 kilometer downrange contract, so we really want to get a move on. We want to get a move on so incredibly quickly. I think this has got quite a lot of gimbal, so it should be fine. Even though we've got no fins at the bottom, we shouldn't really suffer from that, because we want to go. We want to go, 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 go. We really, 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 really want to go. And we are going. That is pitched over quite aggressively. Oh no. What exploded? Was it one of our wings? It was one of our wings. Wonderful. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. Nothing to worry about yet. I reckon we now wait until that is... Yeah, I think that should be alright. Let's go surface velocity plus. We have lost one of those. However, if we do roll it, we might be okay. We might be okay. We might be okay. Right, we've got 6 seconds. We are heating up. 3, 2, 1. And we had an ignition failure. What? Fins on the second stage seem a bit of useless weight. Yeah, I did pin the comment yesterday and immediately forgot. I was thinking that when... Because we never actually got round to flying the 5,000 kilometer downrange contract. That's so annoying. Well, polls ended. Because we ain't going to do that now. Test flight, test flight, test flight. Why? Failed to ignite. Ignition chance, 97.89%. Why was it 94? Oh, did we have Q penalty? We must have done. Very upsetting. How high did we go? Yeah. 200 kilometers. So what we can do now is we can go back to the Space Center. Damn it. We need to build another one of those. No! My digital spaceships! It seems the Great Green Poo has failed us yet again. That Great Green Poo. We're not having a good time with that. I vote you stop everything install KOS for these downrange contracts. See, I'm a software developer by trade, but I don't know KOS. I've never really used it, and a lot of the physics behind it I probably wouldn't know. I have done some scripting in Juno, but that was a long time ago, and I can't really remember how it was done. Do you reckon we just, yeah, like, completely get rid of these? Let's have a look. This might work without them, especially if we spin it up. I think what we do is we actually simulate this and see if this works and see if this doesn't go all over the place. And we get a little bit extra delta V, which is always nice. We might even be able to... So this needs 18.5 tons. We might be able to get a little bit more. Like, if we get the length of this, like every little helps, 18.49 tons, and we shouldn't have to tool that. It's only going to take 45 days to build this as well. Save that. Simulate. And let's give this a go. No part failures. It needs the fins. Do you reckon it needs the fins at that altitude if we spin it fast enough? I'm going to give it a go, because I've never actually tried this without. I feel like it may flip over, but if we spin it at that sort of altitude, it might be alright. I honestly don't know. I'm only doing this purely because we're here now, and if it does need the fins, then we'll just go back and put them on. Right, let's pitch over. Spinning will work even if it's a 180 degree per second spin. I always install it and mean to use it, but then just fly things myself. That is fair. I am very much advocate of using things like MechJeb. I'm not very fond of manual flying, partly because MechJeb can do it better than me, and partly because I like getting all of the pretty cinematics and stuff like that. So I'd much rather MechJeb do it for me. Use ascent guidance. I should use ascent guidance. Anyone else having stream freezes, or is my Wi-Fi just dying? Hopefully it's not stream freezes. It might be though. I'm not 100% sure. Right, I should have really been aggressively doing this. But yeah, no, I will look at ascent guidance after this launch. What are we on? We're on 10 seconds. I've not done this anywhere near as aggressively as I should have done. Right now we need to point to our... yeah, it's not great. Yeah, I'm not sure if we need fins, because we are at 70 kilometers, and this is pointing dead straight. That is not moving at all. We are a little bit high, like we should be more pointing that way, ideally, but that's because I screwed up the ascent. But yeah, I don't think we need fins. What is a kilometer? What the fuck is a kilometer? I use MechJeb as soon as I have rockets with continuous guidance, not with unguided stages. That is pretty much when I also use MechJeb, and have done for every series that I've done except for all Kerbal Kind, because that is one of the stipulations of For All Kerbal Kind, is that we must fly our launches manually. 5,000 kilometers right now. Yes, we are going for 5,000 kilometers, but this is just a simulation. Purely because our attempt at going 5,000 kilometers a second ago failed. Did go for it, but unfortunately, yeah, the engine failed. The engine broke. The engine broke, and it was not good. It was not a good time for anyone. That is going to get us up to 1 point. Yeah, that might. I don't know if that will make it. It's not going to be far off. It might just do it. It's going to be really, 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 really close. Oh, maybe not as close as I thought. We're about 1,000 kilometers away. Honestly, I reckon that should be fine, though. If I I'm going to revert that flight and we're going to try once more. I'm going to try a little bit more of a aggressive pitch over, and I think this might do it. For all Kerbal Kind was always manually flown. So when I say manually flown in For all Kerbal Kind, what I mean is that we don't use ascent guidance or anything like that. I do this. I use this. This is acceptable for Beardy to use this screen. But yeah, I don't use the WASD keys because that is just, yeah, that would mean the rocket goes like all over the place. Bye bye bye. Bye bye bye. Thank you for coming to the stream. That almost sounded like the thing from Jurassic Park. Ha ha ha, what's the magic word? Right, let's give this one more go. I think we hit Z, we hit space, we go, we execute, we pitch. We pitch rapidly. Oh, I'm sorry, Jimmy. I should have done ascent guidance. We need to have a look at that. I need to have a look at that and figure out what sort of, pitch program ascent guidance needs. In order to get that 5,000 kilometers downrange. Right, let's really, really, really aggressively go for this time. Literally, I'm doing it like once every half a second. Gonna really, really push for it. 45 degrees by 10,000 meters. That's pretty insane. Right, I think we want to stick maybe about here and like stick to surface velocity. Now we are going to be quite low in the atmosphere when we release. That could be a problem. If we're below 40 kilometers, that's going to be a big problem. And I think we are. It's alright, right, let's spin. Yeah, it is. Oh, that is a problem. That is a problem. Oh, we might be alright. We might be fine. I think we're going to be fine. Yeah, that's definitely not as straight as last time. Are we even going to get to orbit? We are going to get to orbit. Before I go, I'm your only like. Has there only been one like? For the entire stream? The entire stream we've only got one like. Oh, come on, guys. Why don't you like me? Nah, that's flat trust. Hey, trust fam. Believe in the speed. It did work. It did actually work. Even though we released it like 40 kilometers, that did actually work. We're not going to be going very high with this, I don't think. There's also, like, max Q to kind of worry about at that sort of altitude. Should be alright. Yeah, we're not going to go... I don't think we're going to go anywhere near as high as we did before, but that is a pretty good... Oh my god, why are we suddenly bending off to the side? It's just like, nah, we're gonna point that way now. Screw going the way that we've been pointing for, the entire duration of this burn. We're just gonna change that. That was interesting. So it's gonna take us 7 minutes to get to our apogee. Oh, is this gonna do it? We are, like, going really, really fast. I tend to find that if you go higher, though, it's usually a bit better. We are now coming down, and we have gone over halfway. Oh, I don't think it's gonna make it. We're so incredibly close. But I think that's just not going to quite do it. I think we're going to be about 500 kilometers off. Maybe if it would have burned the correct way all the way, might have been fine. We might just have to put in a little bit more delta V. But I think we're pretty close to that. I don't think we're too far off of doing that 5,000 kilometers downrange contract. Not that we need to do it, because, we're building up our... We're building up our orbital rocket right now, and that will complete the 5,000 kilometers downrange contract. It definitely will. Ascent guidance. No, flat track, right, okay, yeah. What's the time? I've got time to do one more simulation. 6793. Okay, so yeah, that should theoretically be enough. Right. High thrust to weight ratio and shifting center of mass probably made it less stable. 45 degrees. Okay. So, if we go for ascent guidance, what do we want to do? Do we want to use PVG? Strap a solid booster on it. We could strap a solid booster on it, but I'm not sure if that's going to really do much. Plus, the more engines that we get is always worse. Apparently, the optimum for 3,000 kilometers is 38 degrees and 5,000 kilometers is 34 degrees. Okay. Says 50 likes for you. And someone was lying. Chat, should I use my old coursework MATLAB scripts to optimize launches? Absolutely. Absolutely. Not PVG, the other one. So we want to do just regular classic ascent profile. Anything that we want to set in here? Classic ascent, set target altitude 2,000. 2,000. Edit ascent curves, set them all to 35. Edit ascent path, set them all to 35. Like that. Like, altitude at 35 kilometers. Turn off automatic altitude. Ah, okay, we turn that off. Ah, set the turn start velocity 35, 35, 35. Everything. Turn end altitude 35. Everything at 35. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. We want that at like 0. That looks like it might work. Maybe. Support hot staging. Do hot staging by about like 0.1. I've never done this before, so this is going to be brand new to me. What is the spool up time of this? Why can't I see it? Spool up time 0.19 seconds. So yeah, we want to do that maybe like 0.1. And then before we get to that, we'll just spin. The first two can be default 0.5 and 50. 0.5 and 50. Turn end altitude, all of those. Turn start velocity, 50 meters per second. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, cool. Right, let's give that a go. See if it works. In the wise words of Scott Manley, I should have checked my staging. Oh, I didn't even see that the inclination was different. That probably doesn't help. Yeah, that definitely doesn't help. Right, that should hopefully keep everything. Yeah, let's give it another go. So, engage autopilot. Let's try that again. 3, 2, 1, go. And now I can just sit back and watch as this hopefully makes its way. Oh my god, it's doing it! It's doing it! Look, Ma, no hands. It work. It's working. You dropped it. Yeah, I don't understand mech ascent guidance either. I don't understand it in this situation. This is definitely something new. Still need to manually spin it up. Yeah. So when it gets to about 3 seconds, I am going to manually spin. Hopefully. If this works, then oh my god, it makes doing 5,000 kilometers downrange so much easier. There's definitely going to be a video coming out about that. I'm going to credit you, Jimmy. See, I love just sitting back and relaxing whilst the rocket makes its way into space. I think I actually have a script from my rocket propulsion class that optimizes launch angle for apogee or downrange distance, which is convenient. Nice. Right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spin. Go. It's got those bloody settings on that turns off the engine if you lose control, doesn't it? Sure, it's in settings somewhere. There you go. Right, third time's the charm. What are my PC specs so I can run RP-1? So I have a RTX 5080. I have a i9-13900. And I have 64 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. Yeah, no, I didn't. Right. Come on. Third time's the charm. Let's set this again. I want to see this work, because if this works, this is absolutely amazing. Right. Settings. Let's just make sure that that didn't get overwritten with the revert. Yep, no, that's fine. Let's give it a go. Go. Come on. By the way, if you set it to prime vector guidance, it gets more settings for RSS. I know. I usually use prime vector guidance for orbital launches, and I've been using prime vector guidance already over the course of this stream when we were designing our orbital launch vehicle earlier on. That hopefully we should see tomorrow. I imagine we'll be going orbital tomorrow. I think we'll be going orbital tomorrow because, to be honest, after this mission, there's not really much left for us to do before we go orbital. I think 1955, or whenever we start working towards that orbital rocket, it's going to be... There's not going to be an awful lot going on. It's not going to be an awful lot going on at all. Because I think if this succeeds, yeah, we might maybe launch another couple of cameras. Another couple of cameras could potentially be on the cards, but that would be about it, right? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, start spinning! Oh!
I'm a little late. Has Kiwi made it to orbit?
Kiwi, unfortunately, has not made it to orbit, Oxox. Thank you for the donation. We will go back. So, you may be a little late. We're actually going to be wrapping up probably in the next 5 minutes. I'm really sorry, but my girlfriend will be getting home in about 5 minutes. She will be cycling, and we're probably going to go make some dinner together. Kiwi has not made it to orbit yet. What I was just saying is, in the next live stream tomorrow, I imagine we will make orbit, because I think that will be the next launch after this succeeds. Hopefully this succeeds. This is going to be the 5,000 kilometer downrange. We did have one already, which did not succeed, which was a bit of a shame. But yeah, no, we have built it up. I'll have to show you new Kiwi. Kiwi 3. We can have a look at the new orbital rocket before we finish. Wait, it's possible to get a girlfriend as a KSP player? Amazing. I've not just had a girlfriend, right? There's a subtle brag here. I've been married. I'm no longer married. I got divorced about 4 years ago. And yeah, I've had a fair share of partners. I'm going to need some emotional support gas for this. If you fail the orbital, you have the secondary contracts for more downrange missions in the first SAT contracts. I didn't know that. Did not know that. Right. Do we reckon this will make it? We're going a little bit higher than last time. Let's give it a look. Let's give it a look. We are now at our apogee, and we are not quite halfway there. Oh no, we're not quite at our apogee. We're close. This is going to be... Oh, it might. Oh, it's going to be so close. Oh, it's going to be so insanely close. We're like 250 kilometers away. I think we might burn up first, though. I think we're going to burn up. We're 200 kilometers away. 150. Oh, things are exploding. We're like... Oh, 100. Yeah, we'll put a bit more Delta V in that. We'll have to upgrade some of the avionics. I reckon, actually, we do have an avionics upgrade. I honestly reckon if we go back to the VAB, right, revert to editor. That's really cool that that's a good way of doing that. I like that, though. So we revert to editor. This guy played in a band. KSP is just a midlife crisis. I mean, I've been playing KSP for a long time. I love KSP. It's one of my favorite games. It's definitely the game I've got the most hours in. I reckon, right, if we switch to avionics prototypes, this is going to cost a lot of money, though. 6793. 6835. That's so much better. We switch this as well. I reckon that tiny extra bit of Delta V is all we're going to need, and I reckon that will do it. It is going to cost us a lot of money to tool, though. Like, it's an extra 7,000, which is, yeah, it's not great. If we go tank, not tank UI, configure, there we go. Avionics prototypes gives us 7,000. I wonder, what if we did post-war avionics on that? And kept this as is. That gives us loads more. Tooling cost would only be 298. Unlock cost would be 2,000. That might be the one. That might be what we do. Just upgrade that top one. We don't need to bother with this. We just upgrade the top. Bro, when did your rockets look so unrocket-like? Right, you think this looks unrocket-like. This one, yeah, this one definitely just looks a bit weird. It's a big, giant... Not as bad as one of the other rockets that we did in earlier stream. But yeah, no, this one looks weird. It's a giant green poo, basically. We have one rocket. We've got the Kiwi 2, which is actually quite rocket-like looking. This one is quite nice. There we go. This is the new upgraded Kiwi 2. It's a rocket, so of course it's phallic looking. I mean, look at the shadow of that. It's a bit like Dr. Evil's rocket. How do you get the rocket to be so shiny? I use specular. So there is a specular mode on the color thing, on the coloring tool that we can use to color in our rocket. Are we getting any upside down rocket launches? I mean, we are launching from New Zealand, so it would be thematically, it would make sense. That looks good. Thank you. We spent quite a bit of time working on that earlier on in this stream and yesterday, but yeah, there's a lot of parts to this. How many parts have we got on there in total? I'm not entirely sure. I thought it says the parts in here. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Here. No. Does it not give you the part count? Does RP-1 override that? It very well might do. It might override it with the human rated bits. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully tomorrow we should be able to see this being launched to space, and we'll make our first orbit. It's only taken 2 live streams, 2 hours long, of saying let's get to first orbit, of actually getting to first orbit, but we have spent an awful lot of time designing and building this. So yeah, this took a long time to build. We should hopefully also do 5,000 kilometers downrange in the next episode. That'll be the first thing that we do, I reckon, with that slight upgrade to the avionics. That should be good. But for now, I am going to have to go because, yes, my girlfriend is going to be back home and I need to feed my cats because they are sat outside my door going crazy, meowing. But thank you once again for all of the donations. We've got 4 minutes left. There's literally 4 minutes for the timer. I don't even know. Oh, there's only been 2. So we're definitely not going to hit that today. But I timed that almost perfectly to the end of the stream. Definitely won't hit that goal today, but it wasn't a great reward anyway. Maybe tomorrow the one should definitely be talking about doing a RP-1 legacy playthrough again. But thank you everyone for coming. Let's get on to the closing down screen. Until tomorrow, same time. Should be good. Should be actual orbit. And once we're at orbit, well, the galaxy, the solar system is our oyster. But until then, thank you everyone for coming. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the chats. I do appreciate you spending a couple of hours spending some time with me on a quite lovely evening. I hope you all enjoy the Starship launch later on. But until then, I have been Karnasa, and I will see you later.